Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever improved but still felt not confident?
You study, you practice, you get better, but inside, something still feels small.
Maybe your English improved, maybe your skills improved, but your confidence didn't grow at the same speed.
And that's confusing because logically, you should feel stronger.
But confidence is not automatic. It needs exposure, it needs reflection, it needs structure.
That's why sometimes it helps to test yourself clearly.
Explain your ideas out loud. Answer real questions. Practice structured speaking.
You can even do that with the Avatar Academy AI teacher. It challenges you, gives feedback, and helps you see your real level.
Because when you see real evidence of progress, confidence starts to grow.
So in today's episode, we're breaking this down completely.
Why you still don't feel confident even when you improve. Section 1. The hidden frustration. Jaina, can I ask something honestly?
This sounds serious already.
Why do people improve but still feel not confident?
That question hurts a little.
Yes, because many people are actually getting better. They study, they practice, they work on themselves.
But inside, they still feel small.
Exactly. They say, I improved my English, but I still feel nervous.
I got better at my job, but I still feel behind.
I lost weight, but I still don't feel confident.
That feeling is confusing.
Very confusing, because logically you should feel proud.
But emotionally, you don't.
Let me confess something.
Go ahead.
There was a time when my English improved a lot.
Really?
Yes, I could speak longer sentences, I understood more, I even got compliments.
That sounds great.
But when someone asked me to speak in front of others, my heart still raced.
So improvement did not remove fear.
Exactly. That confused me.
I had a similar experience.
Tell me.
After months of working on my communication skills, I was clearly better.
Objectively better.
Yes, but when I compared myself to someone more confident, I felt like I was still not enough.
Ah, comparison.
Yes, that silent enemy.
So maybe confidence is not only about skill.
Maybe it's about perception
How you see yourself.
and how you measure progress.
Here is something powerful. Improvement is external. Confidence is internal.
Say that again.
Improvement is external. Confidence is internal.
So you can improve outside but still doubt inside.
And that's why today's episode is important.
Because many listeners are improving silently.
But they still don't feel strong.
They think something is wrong with them.
But maybe nothing is wrong.
Maybe they just don't understand how confidence actually grows.
And that's what we're going to break down today.
Why you still don't feel confident even when you improve. Omar, I think we need to talk about something uncomfortable.
Comparison?
Exactly.
This is dangerous because most people don't notice it.
Yes, they improve, but they don't measure their improvement correctly.
Instead of comparing themselves to their old version,
They compare themselves to someone already 5 years ahead.
let's imagine something simple. You study English for 6 months.
You improve, you can speak better, you understand more,
Then you open YouTube.
and you see someone speaking perfectly.
Fluent, relaxed, confident.
And suddenly, your improvement feels small.
Even though objectively you improved.
Yes, but emotionally, you feel behind.
I experienced this personally.
What happened?
After improving my English, I started following advanced speakers online.
Bad idea?
Not bad, but dangerous without awareness.
Explain.
Instead of feeling inspired, I felt inferior.
That's honest.
Because I didn't compare myself to who I was 6 months earlier.
You compared yourself to someone at a completely different stage.
Comparison removes joy from progress.
And confidence needs evidence of growth.
Exactly, but if you ignore your own growth,
Your brain thinks you are stuck.
social media makes this worse.
Very true.
You see highlight reels,
Not struggles, not mistakes, not fear.
and your brain says everyone is ahead of you.
Even if that's not true.
So here's the problem. Confidence cannot grow in a mind that constantly compares.
Because comparison focuses on gaps, not gains.
I want to ask something serious.
Go ahead.
When was the last time you compared yourself to your past self?
That's powerful.
Because that is the only fair comparison.
If you spoke 3 sentences before and now you speak 10,
That is growth.
if you were afraid to speak and now you try,
That is courage.
so maybe the problem is not lack of improvement.
Maybe it's distorted measurement. Jaina, can I tell you something strange about the human brain?
Always ready for strange facts.
Your brain is not designed to celebrate progress.
Wait, what?
It's designed to detect danger.
Explain that simply.
Your brain is always scanning for problems.
Not for achievements.
No, it focuses more on what is missing than what is working.
So even when you improve,
Your brain says, yes, but you're still not good enough.
that's painful, but true.
Let's take a simple example.
Okay.
You give a presentation in English.
You speak clearly for 10 minutes.
People understand you.
Maybe even say, good job.
But you made 2 small mistakes.
And guess what your brain remembers?
The 2 mistakes.
Not the 10 minutes of success.
Exactly.
I've experienced this.
Tell me.
Once I finished a long talk. I prepared well. I felt proud.
Sounds positive.
Then I remembered one sentence where I paused too long.
And that became the main memory?
Yes, I kept replaying it in my head.
That's negativity bias.
What does that mean?
Your brain gives more weight to negative moments than positive ones.
So progress becomes invisible.
Exactly.
This explains something important.
What?
You improve slowly, but confidence feels stuck.
Because improvement is gradual.
But fear is loud.
Here's something powerful. Confidence grows from collected evidence.
Evidence of success?
Yes, but if you don't record your success,
Your brain forgets it,
that's why many people feel like beginners forever.
even when they're not.
Let me ask you something serious.
Go ahead.
When was the last time you wrote down your progress?
Honestly, rarely.
Exactly. We remember mistakes automatically.
But we must record progress intentionally.
If you don't measure your growth,
Your brain will assume there is none. Omar, I think we need to talk about something deeper.
deeper than comparison,
Yes, the fear of being seen.
that sounds powerful.
Because sometimes you improve, but you still avoid speaking.
Even when you are ready.
Exactly.
Let me say something honestly. Confidence is not only about skill.
Then what is it?
It is about allowing yourself to be visible.
That's uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
When you speak English in front of people, it feels like exposure.
Like standing under a bright light.
Yes, you feel that everyone is watching your mistakes.
Even if they're not.
I remember when I first started speaking English publicly.
How did it feel?
My hands were cold. My voice felt different. I was overthinking every word.
Even though you had practiced?
Yes, I was prepared, but emotionally, I was afraid.
Afraid of what exactly?
Of being judged, of sounding silly, of not being perfect.
So here is something important.
What?
Confidence does not remove fear. It grows while fear is still there.
So confident people are not fearless?
No, they act despite fear.
That changes everything.
Yes, because waiting to feel confident before acting is a trap.
So maybe the real growth moment is when you speak while still nervous.
Exactly. That's when confidence is born. Okay, Jenna, enough analysis. Let's be practical now.
Yes, people don't need philosophy, they need steps.
Exactly. So how do you build real confidence, not fake confidence? Step 1. Shrink the stage.
What do you mean by that?
Many people try to build confidence in big moments.
Like presentations, interviews, public speaking.
Yes, but that's too big.
So what should they do?
Practice in smaller rooms first.
Explain.
Speak in front of one friend. Record yourself alone. Talk to the AI teacher.
Controlled environment.
Exactly. Confidence grows in safe repetition. Step 2. Collect evidence.
We talked about this earlier.
Yes, but now we make it intentional.
So instead of waiting to feel confident,
You gather proof that you are improving.
for example,
Record yourself today speaking English for 1 minute.
then do the same after 2 weeks.
Compare them.
That's visible progress.
Your brain trusts evidence more than feelings.
So if you show it proof, confidence increases.
Step 3. Normalize mistakes.
This one is emotional.
Very emotional.
Many people think confidence means speaking perfectly.
That's wrong.
Confidence means continuing after a mistake.
Exactly.
I once made a grammar mistake during a talk.
Did the world end?
No, people understood me anyway.
That's the key.
When you realize mistakes don't destroy you,
Fear becomes smaller. Step 4. Act before you feel ready.
this is the hardest one.
Yes, but it's powerful.
Most people say, I'll speak when I feel confident,
But confidence comes after speaking.
not before.
Action creates confidence.
Waiting creates doubt.
Let me say something simple.
Go ahead.
Confidence is built by doing uncomfortable things repeatedly.
Not by thinking about them.
So if you improved but still don't feel confident.
Maybe you need more exposure, not more study.
Jaina, I think we missed something important.
What?
Confidence is not only about actions, it's about identity.
Identity. Explain.
Many people improve their skills, but they still see themselves as the shy one.
So inside, nothing changed.
Exactly. If you still believe, I am not confident, your behavior will follow that belief.
So even if you speak better English,
If your identity says, I'm bad at speaking, you will act nervous.
that's powerful.
Because identity controls consistency.
Give an example.
If someone says, I'm trying to learn English, it feels temporary.
But if they say, I am becoming a confident English speaker, it feels different.
Yes, the second sentence changes how you act daily.
So maybe the real shift is mental.
Yes, confidence grows when you update your identity.
I remember when I stopped saying I'm shy.
What did you say instead?
I started saying I'm learning to express myself clearly.
That's subtle but strong.
And slowly, my actions followed that identity.
Because your brain likes consistency. If you call yourself confident in progress, you behave differently.
So improvement is step 1.
But identity shift is step 2.
And without step 2,
You stay stuck emotionally, even if you improve technically.
so how do people change identity?
Through repeated evidence and small wins.
And self-talk.
Yes, what you tell yourself matters.
Instead of saying I'm not confident,
Say, I'm building confidence every week.
that feels hopeful.
And realistic. Jana, can I say something direct?
Go ahead.
Most people are not lacking skill. They are waiting.
Waiting for what?
Waiting to feel ready. Waiting to feel confident. Waiting to feel perfect.
And that moment never comes.
Exactly. Confidence does not arrive first.
Action comes first.
Let's imagine something.
Okay.
You improved your English for 6 months.
You understand more, you speak longer sentences.
But when someone says, "Can you explain this in English?" you freeze.
Because inside, you still think, what if I fail?
Yes, but here's the truth. Confidence is built in those exact moments.
So the real problem is not fear.
It's avoidance.
That's uncomfortable.
Yes, but real growth is uncomfortable.
I remember a time when I forced myself to speak in a meeting.
Even though you felt nervous?
Very nervous. My voice was not perfect.
But you spoke.
Yes, and afterward, I felt proud.
That pride is the seed of confidence.
Not the absence of fear.
So here's the challenge for everyone listening.
Yes, make it clear.
This week, choose one moment where you usually stay silent.
And speak.
Not perfectly.
Just honestly.
Record yourself speaking English for 2 minutes.
Share an idea in a discussion.
Answer a question instead of avoiding it.
Because waiting keeps you stuck.
Action moves you forward.
You are not lacking progress.
You are lacking exposure.
And exposure builds confidence.
Every single time. So, Jonna, after everything we said today, what is the final truth?
Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you build.
You can improve your English. You can improve your skills. You can improve your knowledge.
But if you don't step forward and use them, you won't feel confident.
Improvement is silent.
Confidence is visible.
And visibility requires courage.
So if you still don't feel confident, don't panic.
It doesn't mean you failed.
It means you are in the middle of the journey.
Start small.
Collect evidence.
Speak even when you feel nervous.
Update your identity.
And if you want structured practice instead of random effort,
Use the Avatar Academy AI teacher.
you can practice speaking, get feedback, simulate real conversations.
Or join our structured programs for IELTS, Duolingo English test, and conversation training.
Because confidence grows faster when practice is guided.
If this episode helped you think differently,
Subscribe to the channel.
continue this journey with us.
And remember,
You are not lacking ability.
you are building confidence.